this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And today, I want to shout out Charles Holman, A. Amoka, all the way from Australia. Thank you so much for viewing the channel. Thank you, Craig Williams, Sassy Evans, Stand By Me, Sweet Beloved, Mr. Davis, and Lisa Davis. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. And today, this is a pretty serious video. And today's video, and I hope you get a kick out of it. But today's video is, they thought they were impressing white folks. For years, Black Americans have been watching a specific pattern from certain immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean. They've come here believing their foreignness was a ticket to acceptance. They thought their accents, their distance from our history, and their eagerness to criticize us would somehow impress white people. I'm going to use my imagination to say that they were auditioning to be white. They thought they were elevating themselves, and they thought their anti-Black Americanness was a ticket to social status. And now, do y'all want to hear the joke? The same people who spent years disrespecting us are suddenly calling for unity. Shock, shock, shock. Do y'all remember this piece right here? Back in 2020, she was out in a park in DC or somewhere talking about Black Americans being lazy and you get a job, and oh, she was mocking us. Oh, I'm so oppressed. Oh, I'm so oppressed. Oh, she put on a show out there for those white people. She thought white people were watching her, and she really let loose on how much disdain she had for Black Americans. Well, that was in 2020 when Joe Biden and the Democrats were letting all of them just walk into this country and just taking over. They thought they had taken over and they were going to replace us because they worked harder than we did, and we were just lazy and no good and ha ha ha. Well, 2026 rolled around with Donald Trump, Tom Homan, and ICE. But this content creator reminded me of her.
This video really illustrates how a lot of immigrants from different nations would come here and, behave, and what they thought about Black Americans, right? What they thought. It's coming out now because we're not supporting a lot of the stuff that's going on, but a lot of people from primarily West Africans, they love to say that we are them and they are us. It is some very weird tether shit going on there. We're all Black. Everybody's Black. It is the wildest thing to see that switch. But before they were caping for the white T-man, right? The one that they say that we're so afraid of. But that's the deal y'all made. Y'all made a bad deal there. Y'all signed up to his buffer class program and you took advantage of it. And now you want solidarity with the people that you shit on? No, thank you. No, thank you. Hard pass. That's what it was. That's what it was in 2020. I mean, and the true colors come out still. There's no unity there.
So the Black immigrants thought white Americans would reward them for distancing themselves from us. They thought repeating stereotypes would make them look better. They thought insulting us would make them seem respectable. But here's the truth. White Americans weren't impressed with you. They weren't impressed with you, and I would have been disappointed with them if they had been. They were indifferent to you. They thought you were weird coming over here from a third world country talking about us, because remember, they know us. Don't forget that. But white Americans didn't see foreign Black as a shield. They saw you, period. The performance didn't elevate you. It just exposed you for being cowards. See, white people knew that we had advocated for you to come here. White people knew that. So white people knew that basically we had played the fool by supporting you because they knew it was nothing to you because they already knew that you would sell out your own kinsman for one piece of gold, let alone two pieces. So white people were not impressed with you. You thought you were impressing white people, but you were not. But under the Democrats, many immigrants felt protected. They believed the system would always favor them, always shield them, always prioritize them. They assumed America would never turn on them. They assumed immigration enforcement would stay soft. They assumed their status was secure. And during that time, some of them felt bold enough to disrespect Black Americans openly, online, in classrooms, in workplaces, everywhere. They thought they had it made. And then first, delineation came. First of all, they had no idea how many of us there are. Second of all, they knew nothing about our history. And third of all, they knew nothing about our culture. They thought that they were something special because their ancestors had not been enslaved, notwithstanding the fact that they are living worse than any slaves ever lived in this country. But I digress. Delineation came, and that was the moment that Black Americans finally said, enough. These are not my people. Unity only works when both sides respect each other. Solidarity only works when it's mutual. And community only works when people aren't using you as a stepping stone. So Black Americans drew the line. That shocked Black immigrants because I don't know why. I guess that they thought that we were just going to continue to take disrespect and insults. We don't have to do that. We're Americans. And for decades, we were welcoming, we were supportive, we were even open to Pan African unity. But unity cannot survive disrespect. So it's on now. And the second big blow to the Black immigrants was the political change. The political climate changed. Donald Trump was elected president for the second time, and immigration and deportation were his platform. The immigration policies shifted, and the tone of the country changed. Suddenly, the same people who mocked Black Americans, who mocked us, found themselves facing a system they thought would never touch them. And now they want unity, which they won't get. They want protection, which they won't get. They want Black Americans to stand with them, which we are not doing. No, no, no. And our no, as far as I'm concerned, is not out of cruelty and it's not out of revenge. It's out of clarity. You chose your alignment, you chose your rhetoric, and you chose your distance. You chose your alignment, and that was with white people. You chose your rhetoric, and that was against us. You chose your distance away from us. Now you live with that. When you build your identity on disrespecting the people who paved the way for you, you eventually face consequences. When you mock the community that fought for the civil rights that you benefit from, you eventually face reality. When you try to impress white people by insulting Black people, you eventually learn that whiteness doesn't reward that behavior, it just watches. And when the system shifts, suddenly you realize Black Americans were never your enemy. Black Americans were never your problem. But now Black Americans are done being the safety net. You're on your own. You might be able to survive it. You may have made some good friends with the white people, and they might protect you. Maybe you can make a deal with them. Who knows? So, anyway, Black Americans are choosing ourselves these days. We don't care what kind of mystery show you put on for white people. Maybe they will be impressed this time. I don't know. But don't be disappointed if they're not. And don't come to us, for Pete's sake, don't come to us looking for unity because that time has passed. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening and have a good evening.